Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to call the regular meeting of Monday, August 3rd, 2026 to order at 5:30. Victoria, do you please call the roll?
Chairman Curry,
Here.
Commissioner Adel, Commissioner Anderson, Commissioner Avedisian,
Here.
Commissioner Bizzano, Commissioner Buell,
Here.
Commissioner Bush,
Here.
Commissioner Cortez,
Here.
Commissioner Desai,
Here.
Commissioner DeBella,
Here.
Commissioner Delizia, Commissioner Drake,
Here.
Commissioner Gale,
Here.
Commissioner Gardo,
Here.
Commissioner Gentile,
Here.
Commissioner Healy,
Here.
Commissioner Hoheb, Commissioner Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Lester,
Here.
Commissioner Lewis,
Here.
Commissioner Magnan,
Here.
Commissioner Manday,
Here.
Commissioner Maniscalco, Commissioner Mailer,
Here.
Commissioner Payne,
Here.
Commissioner Patel, Commissioner Salemi,
Here.
Commissioner Torini,
Here.
Commissioner Torres,
Here.
Commissioner Vargas,
Here.
Commissioner Wolf.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are going to pull number 4 on the agenda off. The new commissioner from Glastonbury is not available to be with us tonight. And also, without objection, and at the request of the chair of BPW, Commissioner Torres, I would like to move 12A and B up to after the report from district council. Are there any objections? Okay. Then we'll move on now to approval of minutes of July 6, 2026.
Move adoption. Second.
Discussion, additions, deletions, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And opposed? Motion carried. Number 6, public comments relative to agenda items. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on agenda items? Seeing none. Number 7, independent consumer advocate comments and questions relative to agenda items. Liz, are you on? No. Okay. Number 8, report from district chairman. I have nothing to report. Number 9, report from chief executive officer.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I just have two things I would like to just discuss briefly. As most of you know, the MDC and the City of Hartford has been working diligently since really 2023 to develop the MS4 agreement, which really defines who's responsible to clean the streets of City of Hartford, who's responsible to clean the catch basins in the City of Hartford. And together, we have done tremendous things by the city cleaning the streets and the MDC cleaning the catch basins. So with a lot of these storms that we've seen, we haven't seen the amount of flooding that we have seen in the past, and it's a tribute to the City of Hartford and the MDC working together. As part of that conversation, there was also approximately 600 catch basins within the City of Hartford, which were owned by the City of Hartford. Our job under the MS4 agreement was to verify and determine who owns those catch basins, and we've been diligently working on that. But we also, since 2015, have identified about $960,000 worth of expenses owed to the MDC for us cleaning the catch basins of the city of Hartford since 2015. So with a lot of other issues, we've been trying since 2011, I've been trying since 2011 to secure the property of the abandoned Brainerd Road for our purposes up in adjacent to the wastewater treatment plant, so we can create a security system which is required. We're the largest water wastewater utility in the state of Connecticut, and we do not have a secure entrance, and we need the Brainerd Road area to make that security happen. So with all of those things at hand, City of Hartford owing us $960,000. I was holding back $128,000 for credits due on accounts. We have been working diligently with the city staff and the mayor to come up with a global agreement that would solve all of these issues. We have a tentative agreement, and we're going to present that to BPW and to the full board. Same thing, the council will have to approve this, but we have an agreement a tentative agreement that will pay the MDC back the $960,000. We will reimburse the city of Hartford for the credits on their water bills that are due, and we will purchase the property for $60,000, the property that we need. And then we will clean the remaining catch basins that are city-owned. MDC will clean them. There's about 600. You're talking about maybe 2 to 3 catch basins a day. Honestly, we're probably already cleaning those catch basins as we speak. It's very difficult in the history of the MDC since 29 to even understand who owns those catch basins. So it's a win-win for both the city of Hartford, the residents, and the MDC. And we'll be bringing a detailed MOU back for BPW's review and the full board's review. The other thing I just want to note is I can't believe we're already talking about the 2027 budget. We had our kickoff meeting last week with our staff. And the first Board of Finance meeting is September 30th this coming year to talk about the budget. And then I would like to say, I know my good friend, Mr. Chris Stone, this is his last meeting, I believe, and would hope.
I don't think so.
But he is not here with me, next to me, but he is on the phone, and I just want to thank him for all the things he has done to support me as a CEO, and all the things he has done to support this organization. We've accomplished a lot of amazing things. I'm not going to get into those, but there's been a lot of amazing accomplishments over the last number of years. So I thank Chris tremendously for that. So thank you.
Any questions? Seeing none, hearing none. Move on to number 10, report from District Council. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to concur with Scott's last comments. Thank you, Scott. And obviously I'm teasing, but thank you. It's been a pleasure working with Scott and his staff and the staff in the District Council's office. I hope this is my last meeting, but you never know. Thank all of you, commissioners, for your support over the years, both while I was in District Council and for the years prior. I will tell you that I leave the district with it's bittersweet. It's a heavy heart. I've enjoyed working with you and being with you, and very much so. And I'm going to miss all of you. So thank you for everything. And one thing I do know, and I'm confident saying that the MDC is being left in good stead with each of you and with the staff that you have. And I've always attributed or considered the MDC to be the premier public works agency, not just in the state of Connecticut, but regionally and arguably nationally. And it's because of their hard work and because of your hard work that we're able to achieve the success that we have in the past. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. And as Scott had said, the accomplishments of our district council, Stone, would take a very long time to run through, but just one fact. When he took over as district council, he reduced the cost of that office by bringing work inside instead of going outside by $600,000. And that $600,000 is carried over every year for 10 years. So that's $6 million. Just in one, well, you may think simple, but it certainly wasn't simple. But the work went on and the work was performed better in-house than I think it was from the outside. So that simple fact alone, we owe a big thanks to Chris. And I've known Chris and he's been my friend far longer than my tenure here at the MDC. And he's a good man and we are going to miss him. But we know what your address is in Florida, Chris, so you're not going to hide.
Fair enough. And by the way, technically, I for some reason I can't get my video up. So you're not. I'm not blocking myself for any particular reason. It's merely my ineptness in trying to deal with this technology. But this is the first time this has happened to me. But I look the same. So
Probably more gray hair.
Right, we're going to move on now to number 12, Bureau of Public Works, consideration potential action. The first is, and we'll take these separately, encroachment agreement, 341 East River Drive, East Hartford. Chair recognizes Commissioner Torres, Chair of BPW.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Bureau of Public Works met and reviewed the item and passed it unanimously. And recommend passage.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carried. And the next one is acceptance of sewers built by developer 550 Burnside Avenue, East Hartford. Again, the chair recognizes Commissioner Torres.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bureau of Public Works met, reviewed the solution, and it was passed unanimously, and moved that the members vote favorably.
That's a motion.
Yes, it is.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we'll go back to number 11, Personnel Pension Insurance Committee consideration potential action on terms and conditions, reappointment of district council, and the chair will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. It'll be just board members along with district council Stone.
This is Victoria Escariza, interim district clerk. I'm confirming that the commissioners that have called or joined through WebEx are Commissioner Cortez, Adel, Lester, Buell, Desai, Gentile, Gale, Magnan, and Salemi. Are there any other commissioners on the WebEx that I did not call? Thank you.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to go back into regular session.
Option.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion,
Aye.
I'm sorry. I forget, we have people out in other places of the country. Motion is carried. Chair will recognize Chairman Magnan of PPI for a motion regarding contract of district council.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would make a motion that we approve a contract for Attorney Myrtle for $340,000 and including all the benefits on the contract sheet and before the members.
Okay.
Second.
And Victoria, were you able to get that out to everybody out there?
I can add it to open text right now.
Okay. Just wait a few minutes. Victoria's going to send that out to open text to those that are online or on the phone. I don't pretend to understand how that works. Right, in the meantime, all in favor of the motion?
What motion?
Aye.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, I'm a little quick. In all fairness to everyone else. Questions on the motion? Commissioner Van Dyke.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I had a question about whether or not there is a maximum for carryover for vacation or sick time or personal leave of any of the time that's accumulated.
Jamie, can you answer that?
Good evening, Commissioners. Jamie Harlow, Director of HR. I don't know if this is working. The question was, is there a maximum amount of carryover? Is that correct? So the standard carryover is 2 weeks, and then there is an exception policy for extenuating circumstances if it extends beyond that, and there is no cap on that.
May I follow up? Yeah. Jamie, I guess I just want to understand this. So let's say I only take 2 weeks, and I guess I'm understanding this. I want to understand this holistically, but this is bringing it up. So if I have sick time and I get 15 days per year and I don't use any, do I have 30 days the following year?
Sick time automatically, yes, does carry over from year to year. At retirement, there is a cap at the payout of sick time, but the carryover will roll over whatever the balance is from year to year.
In this contract, is there anything different from our regular other contract as far as what we allow to cash out for sick time?
So I have not seen the contract. So you're talking about the contract that it was just
Correct,
discussed?
that we're doing
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, I have not seen what is in writing, but in terms of the policy, sick time does carry over from year to year. There is no maximum threshold for the carryover. There is a maximum for the payout.
What is the again, I know you
Yep.
haven't seen this, but what is our maximum payout for
Max
sick?
payout is 800 hours, and
Which is,
which
help me do
is
the math.
about 100 days.
Jamie, the contract we're looking at is the same contract that District Council Stone has.
Okay.
And
The same for vacation.
And just to clear, if I could, Mr. Chair, just keep going. So for vacation time, there's extenuating circumstances to carry over 2 weeks.
2 weeks are automatically carried over. If at the end of the year you have 2 weeks, that will automatically carry over. Anything in excess of that is
Lost.
on an exception basis.
Right, so.
Yeah,
okay,
or lost. Yeah, generally it's lost.
Okay. And I don't know if Mr. Stone can answer this, but is there, because I don't have the full contract, do we know if there's a maximum for vacation or sick time in this contract?
You
For
mean-
payout, if, after separation, retirement or separation?
We pay out the full amount of any remaining vacation balance at time of separation.
I know, but I guess I'm asking for this specific contract because this is different than
the
a
same.
non-union employee.
It's the same, if I might, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
it's,
Mr.
my
Commissioner
contracts, is-
Stone.
my contract benefits are the same as an employee. But, you
So
know,
you would have a maximum of 100
employee.
hours, or, I'm sorry, 800 hours if you never got sick to cash out at the end of your contract. And any unused vacation time which typically would
Correct.
be 4 weeks plus the 2 weeks overtime if you had it.
It would be whatever vacation time I had on the books, similar to prior contracts, executive contracts. Whatever vacation I had on the books, I get paid out. I'm capped out on the sick time. I don't have. I could tell you, not that it matters, but I don't have 800 hours of sick time.
But Chris, your vacation
I'm-
time, it does, like, you don't carry over more than 2 weeks,
employee.
correct? Like, you don't care, if you only use 2 weeks of vacation in the last 10 years, you haven't carried over, you don't have like another 20 weeks of vacation, correct? It's
There's
like
a
all other
carryover.
employees.
There's
If
a
I can
carryover.
interrupt,
Sure.
Chris, the contract before us is the same benefits that any employee has. The only reason it's in a written form is because both the CEO and the district council have contracts because they work directly for the board.
And I just wanted to know if there was any exemption for those specific contracts, and I'm fine if it's if it's similar to what we've got. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Chair.
Very well.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gale.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would, at this time, and we've had some discussion, and I think it's clear that what we are voting on tonight is the salary for a particular person. And I just want to make that distinction first off, that we are not voting on a salary for a position and then going out to see what the universe has to offer, to see who might, who might come forward to qualify for that position. We're rather doing it differently. We picked the person, and now we're deciding how much we should pay that person. And just as in other fields, and I'm going to make the analogy to baseball, just as not all first basemen get the same amount of money in baseball, not all not all individuals who are going to become the general counsel for public municipalities get paid the same amount of money. So in this case, given the motion that we have, my own feeling is that's much too high at this point in time for the person, given the experience that the person has that they're bringing to the table, given the fact that we have not explored the field. And I would therefore move to amend the motion to pay $280,000, a starting salary of $280,000. But I would add to it that in year one, there's a $10,000 moving allowance made for Mr. Myrtle. And that's my motion.
Second.
Just to be clear, the motion on the floor was to approve the contract, which included the salary. So you're moving to revise the salary and include a moving expense.
That is correct.
Okay. And was there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I might, this is Commissioner Salemi speaking.
Commissioner Salemi, thank you for identifying yourself.
Thanks. I don't know if you can see the little hand that goes up when you
Yeah,
do
it
this.
comes up late.
I can't see it when I'm the chair. I don't know. So anyway, with respect to the contract itself, I have a question on that. It's so it's not necessarily related to this motion at this point, but about the entire idea. So the contract, does the contract make the employee subject to the pension fund? In other words, does the contract put the employee, who would be, I guess in this case would be John Myrtle, in the pension fund, and does it change any of the standard provisions of the pension fund? You understand that we just went through that with our CEO, who does have a special clause associated with his. But are there any in this contract? Is there anything special about the pension fund and how it applies to this particular employee, the district council? That's my question.
Jamie?
In the existing contract that you say we're going to use over again for this one.
If I might, Mr. Chairman, Chris Stone, District Council, there's no change in the pension benefit, Commissioner Salemi. A few years back, this board adopted what's called a 457F top executive provision because your top executives are capped out in the amount of salary that can be counted towards their pension. There's a supplemental benefit that you approved. At this salary level, Mr. Myrtle would not be eligible for that 457F plan. Depending upon, and by the way, the level at which the 457F plan would kick in increases on average between $10,000 and $15,000 a year. So that's going to keep going up. In my tenure, it went up from, I think it would start at 320, and it's right now it's I want to say 360,000. So you have to, your salary has to exceed that amount in order to take advantage of that or make use of that benefit. But other than that, and again, presently that he would not be eligible because his salary would be below the cap. But other than that, it's the same. There are no other special provisions similar to the one that was afforded the present CEO or the one that was afforded his predecessor.
Thank you, Chris. And when you say it's capped by
Commissioner
federal
Salemi,
law.
just hold on just a second. Jamie, you concur with that explanation?
I concur with that. The benefits under the pension would be the same as any other employee.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Commissioner Salemi, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that the cap that Council Stone is talking about, this is a federal cap on pension payouts. Is that correct, Chris?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Lester?
Yes, I just want to be clear on what we're voting on. I think there was a motion made by Commissioner Mandike to accept the PPI recommendation with discussion by Commissioner Mandike. I'm sorry, Commissioner Magnan made the motion with discussion by Commissioner Mandike. And then there was a motion by Commissioner Gale for a lower salary. So I don't know if his motion was a friendly amendment. I'm not sure what we're going to be voting on.
Well,
Whose
this
motion we're voting on?
chair does not believe there's any such thing as a friendly amendment. There was an amendment and to reduce the salary from 340 to 280 plus a $10,000 moving expense. And that's the amendment on the floor that we're discussing and that we will vote on.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Torres?
It's just for clarity. This particular proposed amendment on the contract really only focuses in on the compensation because the issue of the candidate is already settled. That we have agreed that the candidate, Mr. Myrtle, is the person that we would like to hire. So that what we're really doing here is that we're looking at the issue of the salary and compensation. And the reason I bring that up is because I feel uncomfortable down the road if we have additional votes that my vote would be misconstrued if I voted in the issue of the salary, that it'd be misconstrued as not supportive of the candidate itself. I think they're two different issues, where I would be supportive of the candidate with no problem, but my issue is the issue of the salary range issue. Is that correct?
Commissioner Wolf?
Did you end with a question or?
Yeah, I was wondering if that's what we're doing here, that in
There's
fact.
an amendment to the motion that changes the salary and one benefit in the contract.
And our understanding through you, Mr. Chairman, is that Mr. Myrtle is in fact the candidate that we are supporting.
we've already, this board has already approved selecting Attorney Myrtle,
Yeah, because.
Contingent
both of these are
on-
in here. Okay,
finding residency and the board approving a salary and a contract.
thank you.
Well, if I might, Mr. Chairman, if I, I'm
Commissioner
sorry
Wolf?
for interrupting.
Oh, is it Chris?
No, yeah, Chris Stone.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for
Go ahead,
interrupting.
Chris.
I just want to make it clear that the board and PPI approved John Myrtle as the next district counsel. And just as it was subject to PPI and the board arriving at terms, it was, these are negotiated terms. And I don't want anyone to think that if whatever number you set or whatever conditions you put on this contract, that automatically Mr. Myrtle has to accept that. Just because he's your chosen candidate, there was still a back and forth, there's still a negotiation between two parties, the board and John. And if the board passes this, forget about this particular amendment, but any other amendment to what was a negotiated amount, and this, by the way, that's not to tie your hands, you can do what you want, but don't think that that automatically has to be acceptable to John.
Thank you, Chris. Attorney Wolf, Commissioner Wolf.
I'll take either one, Mr. Chair. You know, a lot of times when you're taking a big vote, there's not a lot of nuance. It's either all or nothing. And I think one of the benefits of this process was that we got to vote in favor of John Myrtle and select him. And I'm very happy that we did that. I look forward to working with him as our district counsel. I think he's a fantastic choice. And tonight, you can count me among one of the folks that disagrees with where PP and I landed on the salary, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I support John as our next district counsel. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor of the motion, the amendment to the motion to reduce the salary from $340,000 to $280,000 and add 10,000 moving expenses, say aye.
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 I think we're going to need a roll call.
Paddle,
Aye.
Anderson, Avedisian,
No.
Commissioner Bizzano, have you called in? Buell, Bush,
No,
Cortez, Desai,
No.
DeBella,
Yes.
Drake,
No.
Gale,
Yes.
Bardo,
No.
Gentel,
No.
Healy,
No.
Johnson,
No.
Lester,
No.
Lewis,
No.
Magnin,
No.
Mandyke,
No.
Mailer,
No.
Payne,
no,
Commissioner Patel, have you called in? Salemi,
Aye.
Torini,
No.
Torres,
oh, aye, yes,
Vargas,
Nay.
Wolf,
Yes.
Chairman Curry.
Well, I've said that I usually will not vote. This is a vote I think is extremely important for the future of MDC, so I'm going to cast a no vote.
Six yeses.
The count is 6 noes and 17,
Six.
No.
6 yeses and 17 noes. The motion is defeated. Okay, we're back to the motion as made. Any further discussion? Commissioner Godu?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't believe that that the salary here is in the right range. I believe that the amendment that just was defeated was way at the low end. And I believe there's a mid-range between those. I don't know what it is. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor of the main motion, and I think we'll just move to a roll call again. Those in favor of the motion that was originally made would be a yes vote.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Can you please just read the motion out loud? Of the,
It's this motion.
Yes.
Correct.
Well, the motion is to approve the contract as presented by PPI, which includes the salary of $340,000.
thank you.
Adel,
That's a no.
Anderson, Avedisian,
Yes.
Buell, Bush,
Yes.
Cortez, Desai,
Yes.
DeBella, Drake,
Yes.
Gale,
No.
Gardo,
Abstain.
Gentile,
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lester,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Magnan,
Yes.
Van Dyke,
Yes.
Mailer,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Salemi,
No.
Torini,
Yes.
Torres,
Abstain.
Vargas,
Yes.
Wolf,
No.
Chairman Curry.
Yes. All right. We have 16 yeses, 4 noes, and 3 abstentions. The motion carries. Thank you all. And I would comment that the conversations had in executive session and during this session were very positive. And the one overriding positive for you, John, was that everyone agrees that you're the right person for the job. And the nuances was getting to all those other things that went along with that position. So congratulations to you. On the spot, would you like to say a few words?
I just want to again thank all of you. As I've talked with many of you through this process, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I appreciate the discussion. You know, you guys wouldn't be doing your job if you weren't looking out for the ratepayers and our budget and all that. So I fully understand that. I appreciate that. Excited for the opportunity. I am in process of finding residency. Have some interesting news about a offer that was placed. Did not make a deposit or anything crazy. Don't want to. I was not counting my eggs before they hatched by any means, but I received some good news about an hour ago, so that seems to be on track as well. So I'm incredibly excited, looking forward to getting started. So thank you all.
Excellent. Okay, move on to number 13, Bureau of Public Works report, stormwater private property disconnect pilot study, PowerPoint presentation. And who is doing that, Scott?
Chris Levesque.
Chris Levesque.
Thank you. Chris Levesque with the MDC. I'm going to go over a couple slides that have been presented in the last few ones, but I'm going to just really walk through the process that we're looking for to begin engaging through the approval process on some of these pilots. So just really quickly, this really summarizes what the objectives are of removing this inflow and infiltration from our system. As you could see, what we typically get from each of the member towns during dry weather events and then during wet weather, the significant increases. So as we discussed in other presentations, we're doing everything we can by lining sewers, but what ends up happening is that groundwater level rises and then enters our system sort of a roundabout way, but it ends up getting into footing drains, sump pumps, and then either flows back through gravity back into our system or is pumped up from those sump pumps in the basements back to our system. So that's all the things we're trying to address, but also trying to address some components within each of the member towns to benefit those member towns and their stormwater management. So quickly going through this is what we typically see is a schematic, one existing lateral from the properties right into our combined sewer, or in most cases, for the member towns we're focusing on, to our sanitary sewer. What we're looking to do is partner with each member town with a couple different variants, but for the most part, looking to utilize an existing storm drain or install a new storm drain, but connect that private property inflow or infiltration back in or into that storm drain to completely eliminate it from entering our sanitary sewer, combined sewer. And this ultimately helps for keeping the flows to the plant low, but also to remove those overflows from our system, and so we could abide by our consent decree and consent order. So just sort of walk through back to a status. So we did have our meetings with all the towns, town managers, public works, engineering departments. Had a really great response from the message that we were looking. So we have met with the town of Weathersfield so far on July 15th, West Hartford, Newington just today. We have a schedule for Rocky Hill next week, and currently in the process of scheduling the other 3 remaining member towns. Ultimately, we're driving a lot of great conversation. Weathersfield, we identified a number of locations in the old Weathersfield area on the Main Street corridor. West Hartford, 2 really good viable projects right now. One, we're going to get into some of the details, but we're looking at a second one in our Canebrook area, which is a huge impact for us to remove a lot of inflow, which will not only help West Hartford, but help the overall Hartford drainage area as well, and eliminate, help to us eliminate CSOs in the Hartford area as well. So that is in the Bollinger area around New Park, Ringgold area, near the New Park 1 complex near Prospect. And then Newington, we met with today, big focus on the Carr Ave, Stonehenge area. Those are areas we identified in our SSES projects as a number of private property connections, both on the inflow side, so foundation drains, roof gutters, sump pumps connected to our system. So a couple very good viable projects there. Ultimately, we're going to be able to put these project lists together, prioritize them, review those project areas with the Bureau of Public Works. Next step would be to bring those projects forward, just like we bring CIP projects forward other projects and go through that Board of Finance approval, get that approval, and then ultimately the board approval to move forward with those projects. So we're really setting the stage for this pilot program to go across all member towns. Once we get that approval, go through the engineering, and then ultimately, and if there's some cases where we don't know exactly the number, where we would ask for the engineering money, we'd come back for the construction money, similar we do with our CIP projects and IP projects as well. One of the key focus now we talked with the 3 towns so far is to do some precondition monitoring so we can really demonstrate the positive benefits to the MDC as well as the member towns on sort of the precondition and then post-condition. What did those improvements, what effects did those improvements have when we built them? So that's really the some of the focus that we're doing. So we wanted to present this and then ultimately get the recommendation to proceed on this method. Any questions? I can go through some of the West Hartford, what was presented at Bureau of Public Works, if need be.
Chris, as we meet with the towns, what is your impression? What do you think it will be in terms of strengthening our working relationship with the town and them with us as we make these presentations for these pilot programs?
As far as some of the benefits for the towns?
Benefits for us as in building teamwork between the two as we've done over the past few years with the City of Hartford.
Yes, definitely. We do have common objectives when we have these discussions about the projects. We never had a solution to get to those common objectives. So now we're sort of setting the ball field for getting to those common objectives. For instance, the conversations we had with Weathersfield and Newington, when we line the sewers, they get phone calls in the Public Works and Engineering offices, hey, now my yard is getting flooded due to the sump pump discharge that my property is now discharging to the yard. In some cases, that property owner may reconnect it back in the house and it gets pumped back to our sanitary sewer. So now we're providing tools to that the town and MDC have to permanently address this the proper way. So that's some of the benefits. In the case of West Hartford, they are investing in their storm system. So they see that added benefit of tackling this project. When we dig in the street, we dig once, we move forward, and those. But that's similar for all the towns. A lot of these, the ones we discussed today, aligning these projects up with their paving program as well. So they know what streets are in disrepair, knowing when that schedule's coming up, so we can align those as well. So there's a lot of positives around this that we really haven't had in the past, sort of those tools in our toolbox to address this stuff. But definitely a lot of good positives between MDC on the technical and between the two engineering departments to work together.
Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. My question is, Commissioner from Windsor, you've got Windsor scheduled. Who are you meeting with? Are you meeting with the town manager, or are you meeting with the town engineer? And my second question is, both John Avedisian and I, can we be invited to attend if we're available?
I can tell you who we're meeting with right now, Peter Sousa and Suzanne Choate, the town engineer, likely. But Scott? Yeah.
If I may, you're happy to go. We've met with Peter already on this very topic. One of the towns at the town manager level, the biggest concern that they have is how to explain this to the development, in their town. But on the engineering side, it's pretty simple, in terms of the engineering aspects of it. But if the town commissioners would like to attend, you're happy to attend.
Yeah, just let us know.
Sure.
No
problem.
Thank you.
There's a lot of great projects in Windsor, to be honest with you. There's great opportunities there.
Okay. Commissioner Godot?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you can go back to your cartoon, please. Yeah, that one there. So So the town is gonna do the dark blue, and the MDC is gonna do the light blue. What is, not knowing the distances, how much would that cost for the MDC, and are the towns gonna fund the dark blue?
So in this specific scenario, this was a slide that we utilized for the discussion with West Hartford. So West Hartford is building a storm drain in their feed area, off Asylum, Penn Drive area, but Middlebrook, they're installing the storm drain. And we were looking to, as one of the project options of doing the private property work. This specific private property work, somewhere in the ballpark of, depending on how much work is in the front yard, front porches, those type of things, how many roof leaders we would need to disconnect and where the sump pump would come out. The work would somewhere be around about $8,000, give or take.
If I may, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
just to add to that answer, Commissioner, what we're looking for is approval of the concept. We have no engineering, right? The only reason why this, as Chris mentioned, this slide is because West Hartford's already done a bunch of engineering and they already know what they're gonna do. But we have one town at the part of the pilot, we might be deciding to build a storm pipe for the town. So every town is gonna be a little different because every town is. And alls we're asking is to give us the authority through Board of Finance and the full board and BPW to start to move forward, to start to analyze these. We have to spend engineering assets in our staff to actually analyze what are we gonna do in each town.
All right, if I can follow up with that, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I understand that you don't know what you're doing until you do it, all right? And I'm looking at Middlebrook, and the houses are really close to the street. But it is an expense that will need to be budgeted, much like the water meter pits. Okay, that's another cost, and concept is fantastic. It makes total sense. All right, are we gonna go broke doing this? So.
And if I may, at the BPW meeting, so remember, we have a number of ways to pay for this. We can pay for this through the Clean Water project. We can pay for it through CIP, which would hit ad valorem. We could also pay through our EIRR revenues that were received. And in this specific case for West Hartford, as we presented at BPW, we're expecting we will collect about $448,000 in fees paid for by developers. And that would pay for, if we were to do this Middlebrook or any other project in West Hartford, we would utilize that funding to pay for our portion of this project. All of the work that's done inside the home is done under our backwater valve program. Every home in all of our 8 towns get that for free. And obviously we have a budget. So whatever we have to look at every project. We've got to look at and how can we pay for it. And we will definitely, we won't move forward without, bringing that to Board of Finance for a funding source, and obviously BPW and the full board.
Thank you.
Commissioner Torres.
Yes, I think to allay the concerns about financing these kinds of things, each project, as this one for West Hartford, at our last Public Works meeting, was referred to finance so that we could then look at how these things would be financed and whether or not it's, in our best interest to do these kinds of projects based on where the numbers fall. So, as was stated before, we're doing a lot of this work anyway. And additional work that we might do, for instance, inside the homes with the sump pumps and that sort of thing, hopefully would then now, instead of being dumped into the backyard and then put back into the sewers, would go into this new pipe that then, would capture all of that storm water. So it's like a win-win situation where we're doing some of this work anyway. The money's already allocated to a lot of this, so it would be some additional dollars that we would have to identify through finance.
Commissioner Bush.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a question. You had said that the cost for the blue part of the work would be $8,000
Yeah,
plus or minus?
it can go up to 10, 11, depending on the amount of,
But that was just, did that include the sump pump work or is that separate?
sump pump would be covered on, as Scott mentioned, that's
Separate
all the
bucket.
backwater valve program. We have set aside funding. We ask for approvals every year to fund that program across the entire district. So sump pumps, and then ultimately the discharge out, and any protection work we do in the basement's all covered under that.
Okay, and to continue on, if I may, the transition from building gigantic underground tunnels is basically, this is the alternative to that. And that any of the billions of dollars that would have gone to spend what I think we all know at this point would not be as successful as what we're trying to accomplish. So the funding was already mandated. We were already gonna be forced to spend some significant sum of money. The thought process as to how we spend the money and the effectiveness of spending that money is now being transitioned to this new project, this new idea, which I completely support. And I think it's fantastic that as a big boat, we've made that turn to face this new challenge going forward. So I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
I just want to clarify, if I may, we still, we're doing this pilot because we want to prove to our towns and more importantly to DEEP. We've already proven to DEEP that tunnels don't work and we don't believe we should be building tunnels. We believe we should be doing full separation in Hartford, which they agree with. We also want to carry that forward into the other 7 towns, full separation with storm. Our goal is to get DEEP to agree that this pilot is successful and it achieves and is an embedment to the Clean Water Project goal of getting rid of CSOs to the rivers. If we achieve that goal through this pilot, our goal would be to get them to allow us to get funding for the stormwater projects that are part of our projects.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Vice Chair DeBell.
Would that be through the feds or through the state?
It's through the state. I mean, the majority
The
of
feds are gonna give us money on that.
the majority of the Clean Water Revolving Fund, I don't know these specifics, but I've been told it's anywhere from 15%, 10 to 15%. So the majority of our monies that we get for the Clean Water Project come from the state of Connecticut.
The feds have not been willing to participate in that because.
Well, 15% of 800 million is a lot of money. So
No, I'm saying the feds.
Yeah.
Because of the
Yeah.
cost.
Any other questions for Chris? And Chris, I mean, if we could wave a magic wand and everything would be separated and we would want it the way we want it, it's what, $12 million that ad valorem could be reduced?
Yeah, annually, because that's our cost at the treatment plant to treat this extra flow coming in, so.
Right.
Yeah, and that compounds every single year.
My point is that development anywhere in any town benefits all towns. And I think this type of project meets the same goals, and whatever town it's in, it's going to benefit all towns in the long run. So I think it's something we should be excited about. So thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Thanks.
You're gonna use, the engineering money's gonna come up front, is it not?
So just to clarify, the MDC engineering staff will do the pre-planning of what we need to do and what we're going to do. And it depends. We might need to hire an outside engineering firm, which we would come to Board of Finance for, a BPW, and get that approval. But right now, it's just an internal planning exercise to really understand what is the magnitude of a project. Yeah.
And it's gotta go through the normal process. of
Correct.
going to Board of Finance and.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. All right, move on now to number 14, report on the purchasing card policy, or better known as the P card. Kelly.
Good evening, Commissioners. I have the unenviable task of presenting the last report after a long meeting, so I will try my best to give you an overview of our P-card program here at the district in a short amount of time. I believe you've all seen the P-card policy, or it was shared with you, each of the commissioners, by email. I believe it's also in open text under the board and definitely under the Board of Finance. So please, if you have not had a chance to review the policy, please review it at your leisure. And, I'm always available, as is our procurement program administrators, to answer any questions you may have after this or during this presentation. I just wanted to give, I believe Commissioner Gentile had asked for an overview of the program, the history, how we're managing the program today, and why it's such a vital program to the management of expenses here at the district. Are you going to change the things, or you want me to? I can do it. So the history of the program, let me go back one more. Tori, I'm not sure this one is working. Here we go. There we go. So the history of the MDC program. This is a reflection of our organization's ongoing efforts to modernize procurement processes and strengthening controls. The program was first established actually in 2002, and our first full policy was issued in 2004. It was a formal P-card policy, and there was a manual involved in it. It was a very manual P-card program. All the receipts were in paper. There were a few custodians and folks in each department that managed the receipts. We actually had two separate programs in the beginning, one with American Express and MasterCard, and the procurement department and finance department jointly managed. Like I said, it was very administratively intense for everyone involved. We did not have as many P-card holders as we do today, but it was not electronic and automated like it is today. So I had actually become procurement director in 2014, and when I got here, it was the first thing that I recognized, that if we were going to become more efficient, we had to stop with the manual processes, and I knew that there were P-card programs, especially the state of Connecticut had a P-card program with JP Morgan Chase. We adopted that program, which also included rebates, which covered a large portion of the salary of the folks that were administering the program. And so we issued a new policy and implemented a new program that was more automated. It had online JP Morgan Smart Data tool that improved our efficiency, visibility, and oversight. And today that program continues with JP Morgan Chase, who is also our bank. So that makes it easy. And it's a mature, well-controlled purchasing framework that aligns with our operational needs and with strong governance. So the program overview. The MDC Purchase Card Program is designed to support efficient, accountable, and timely procurement of small dollar goods and services necessary for our daily operations. The program actually replaces more cumbersome traditional procurement processes. When I was with the federal government, we used to say that every purchase order we ever issued, it cost $100 worth of labor, from the person putting in the requisition to getting it approved to then turning it into a purchase order. So if you're doing that for very small dollar value purchases, it's time consuming and it costs a lot of support time. What the P-card program does for us is, at its core, it replaces those cumbersome processes, and for low dollar value transactions, what an auditor would say were immaterial. Our average P-card purchase is about $300, and that's the average for every transaction. So it's a low dollar value, less risk to those purchases, And our program establishes clear eligibility criteria, defined spending limits, and structured oversight roles to ensure responsible use of the public funds. A central objective of the P-Card program is to balance flexibility for employees with accountability for management and governance. And I think we do that very well in this policy. We're able to make quick purchases when we need them, just in time, while we have standardized processes, automated reconciliation, and we have visibility into all of our purchase. At the drop of a hat, we can go in, see any receipt, pull any receipt. It's all automated and electronic in our JP Morgan Smart Data system. That allows for us also to audit the program as administrators within the procurement department. So to be eligible for participation in the CARD program, only full-time employees can have a purchase card. Each card is assigned to an individual employee, reinforcing personal responsibility for their transactions. We have card controls within the system, predefined single transaction and monthly spending limits, and they're enforced automatically at the point of sale. If your purchase card limit, which is typically for us a purchase is $2,500. You cannot go to Home Depot and spend $3,000. It will automatically reject that purchase. Our program also blocks with merchant category codes, restricts the cards where it can be used, like ATMs. You can't pull out cash, and you can't go gambling at a casino. We have merchant category codes that manage where we can make purchases from and where our cardholders can do that.
Further questions?
You have a question now?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were finished.
I'm not quite finished.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we have the cardholders have responsibility. They play a critical role. They're directly responsible for initiating the purchases. They have to complete an application process. They have to be approved by their managers and directors to have a P-card. And they have to go through training with our program administrators. There's policy training as well as information to safeguard their documentation, to safeguard their purchase cards at all times. I have a special place in my wallet for my P-card so that I don't use it mistakenly. But the card holders have a lot of accountability within the system. I won't go through everything, but those responsibilities are there. We then have custodians. Custodians are admin folks within the departments that reconcile all of they pull together the receipts. They're the operational link between the cardholders, the approvers, and the program administrator. They upload all the receipts into the Smart Data system for each purchase. They assign accurate budget and accounting codes to each transaction. And they ensure that the cardholders they're assigned to, which is typically by department, are following the processes and procedures we have in place. They're not making purchases in places they shouldn't, and they're making purchases for things that we need to do our job. Custodians also reconcile the transactions within the system with the accounting codes so that our program administrators can pay the bill every month and bring it back into SAP. So it's a very important role. And these are typically your administrative folks within each department that have this responsibility. The approvers are also managers, their supervisors, managers, even directors are approvers within the system. They actually go into the Smart Data system and they approve. When they look at the receipts every month, they approve those purchases. So you not only have your cardholder responsible for the purchases, you have approvers that are managers and supervisors that approve each one of those purchases every single month. And our program administrators in procurement They make sure that the approvers have approved every purchase every month. And our program administrators, again, we have 2 folks in procurement, and also the original program administrator was in my office, and she became my assistant as I went to the CAO office, but she's still involved with administering the P-card program. They not only maintain the policy and documentation. When we issued this new purchase card policy, we updated it in 2020, and we're now updating it again in 2026 with some updated information and more information based on my presentation to the Finance Committee on some of the things we need to add in there to show the different ways that we're auditing the program and the system each month. So the staff that is managing the program not only audits and pulls reports and audits the transactions on a monthly basis, but they also make sure the card hierarchies are there. They work with the approvers to make sure, and the directors to make sure that we have the proper number of cardholders. When a cardholder retires or terminates, they're the ones that make sure to close out the P card for that individual. And they also assign the new and provide all the training to those folks. On a monthly basis, we're tracking noncompliance, and we're pulling reports from Smart Data to do just that. I've talked a lot about the Smart Data system, but it is that centralized transaction management system. It's roles-based, so cardholders provide their information to custodians. Custodians upload the receipts. Approvers only have access to approve. So there's a line of demarcation for everybody involved in the process. They have access only to those transactions that they will be managing. Compliance and oversight. I had answered some questions of Commissioner Adel in the Finance Committee. He had submitted specific questions, and we talked a lot about, the misuse of the card and the oversight and any results that we've had. And I'll just reiterate here as I close that cardholders have rarely, I think there's been one since I've been here, and that's been 11 years with this program, that has had any intentional and disciplinary action resulting from intentional misuse of the card. Most often, if there's, and I mentioned in 2014, we had 13 times where somebody used the card by accident. Usually that's because if you have a JP Morgan Chase card, it probably looks identical to your MDC card except for the logo and the tax exempt status on the back of the card. So sometimes there have been mistakes and people have used the card mistakenly. They're usually self-reporting and bringing a check directly to our program administrators as soon as it's discovered. Many times it's discovered right after the purchase is made, but they can't reverse the purchase. In 2024, we had 13 of those incidents. In 2025, we had 7, and in 2026, after 6 or 7 months now, it's been 3. So through training, through retraining, these incidents typically subside. I did also want to say, because this was brought up at the same time as our audit was being completed, that since the audit was finalized for 2025, CLA had a seminar on municipalities and managing your P-card programs, and I think it's in anticipation of them probably reviewing our P-card program next year as part of our 26 audit. We did attend that seminar, all the staff that's involved in the P-card program administration, and we learned just by going through the presentation, and it was made by David, as a matter of fact, our auditor, that we do have a very robust program based on our policy and what they were presenting to municipal finance directors and finance folks on what they're going to be looking for in a P card program. So I believe he may have even used some of our policy information when he put the presentation together. I'm just thinking that. I'm not guaranteed of that. But we do anticipate that this coming year, they may do a cursory review of the P card program. Last but not least, I want to say that there are purchasing card professional certifications, and we're going to be sending our P card administrators to that so in the near future, so that they can further their development and learning about how to manage the P card program. So all in all, I'm very happy with the program. I think that with our 150 or so card holders, our 18 custodians and our 13 approvers, we really have all levels of the of a program with the right amount of oversight, and our managers and directors and supervisors take it very seriously, and we cannot reconcile and pay that monthly bill to JP Morgan Chase until we've reconciled all finances to the right budgets and back into SAP. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
I'm just curious, you explained that if someone accidentally uses the P card for a personal expense, they self-report, they bring a check and reimburse the MDC. What if the error is the other way around and they use their personal card? Do we reimburse them?
Yes, we do have if somebody I don't think they do that by accident. They may not have a P card, and an employee may go and get some stuff at Walmart, and they do submit. We have a whole process for an employee reimbursement of expenses, including mileage. Mileage is one of those that we often do if they're using their personal car to go to P card training. I know our P card administrators may put in, if they have to go up to Barkhamsted in their private car, they'll put in for mileage. So we have a separate process for that.
Commissioner Godot.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I read the policy, makes sense. I have a corporate card. So this is not a corporate card. Does the MDC have a corporate card also? Or, for travel, like for the,
No, a lot of our card holders will get a P card if they're going to be traveling. They use that card for the travel.
okay.
Mhm.
So I have a follow-up on that. So
Sure.
you had 23 self-reported due to accidental use of the cards.
Mhm.
How does a tax man get his money? Because this is a tax-free organization. Or are we in heirs to the tax man?
Are we in heirs to the tax man? So when we utilize our P card, we're tax exempt, so we don't get charged taxes.
Yeah, what about the ones that, so someone used it by accident,
Yep.
okay, and they spent $10,
Mhm.
right, what's the tax rate? 6 point something, something, something.
Mhm.
How does a tax man get his money?
If no tax was charged, we're
But it was supposedly used by accident,
yep.
so it should have been taxed. Is there a gap? Not that I want to make things hard, but. 'cause
For those
I
three.
like to keep it simple. all right?
Yeah, for
But the
those
tax
three
man is
times
gonna
that
get
it.
you, all right, it's death and taxes.
Mm. Okay, well, we'll put, I mean, for the very few times that it happens, we don't self-report to the IRS.
Well, no, it's.
I think it falls under charitable contribution.
I'm just, I mean, there's a lot of news about this, okay? And if people are, I can't imagine how many hundreds or tens of thousands of dollars for, not here, but throughout the state of Connecticut using P cards. And who's the state treasurer? Scanlon? He wants his money. So,
That was a question I didn't anticipate, Commissioner, so I'll have to get back to you on what we would do. But it's rare that it happens.
Commissioner Healy.
23 times.
I have
3 years, yeah.
I have a quick question that has nothing to do with taxes, I promise.
Thank you for that.
You mentioned, and glad to hear that it's been very few and far between that there's been any intentional misuse. I think if I heard you correctly, you'd seen one in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah,
So obviously,
11, actually.
we're in a
yeah.
public setting. I wouldn't expect any non-public information to be revealed in answering the question. But how long did it take for us as an organization to figure out that there was an intentional misuse by that person?
My P-card administrator at the time, and this was early on in the program, recognized some charges at a gas station that didn't make any sense based on the receipt and what was charged, cigarettes and things like that, which are not allowable. So within a month or two's time, it was found and it was completely reimbursed. The employee was retrained, the P-card was taken away, and then retrained and later received the P-card back. But it did not take long.
And is that part of the reason you do the monthly, I forget what word you use, but it sounds like every month
Monitoring.
somebody essentially ensures that these expenses were valid before
Yep.
you pay the credit card
Well, the
bill. I assume that
custodian's
helps.
looking at those receipts, they're asking for what, if it's not clear what it is, they should be asking. And if not them, then the supervisor or manager who's reviewing the receipt online should be saying, what the heck is this, if they didn't already authorize it or didn't know about the purchase. So with all of those lines, and then the program administrators pulling reports and looking at vendors is the biggest way we can find things like that, is which vendor was being charged. Are there trends where the same cardholder is charging to the same, vendor multiple times, looking for split purchases, things like that? We would find them if we had those issues. But honestly, our employees are super responsible with their P cards because they don't want my wrath, to be honest.
Very good. Thank you.
Commissioner Torres.
So do you have a frequency of review by the various levels of managers? Is that what you do?
Yeah, so are you talking about how many people have cards, or are you talking about the individual transactions?
No, there are different levels of review, as you said, that people are responsible for. My question is, do they have a set schedule where they sit down and say, okay, we review
Yes.
every 4 weeks, every 2 weeks, whatever, we review these transactions to make sure that they are appropriate, for.
We actually approve it monthly. So our cycle, in order to pay JP Morgan Chase the $238,000 on average per month for 700 transactions, we have to reconcile every single one of those transactions. So the custodian is making sure those receipts are in there. And then that approver, there's 13 of them in this company, they have to go in and they're looking at every receipt, every purchase, and they're actually approving it before it can be reconciled and paid. So our administrators are on not only the custodians to make sure, and the custodians usually are putting in the receipts as they go and not at the end of the month, because by the 30th or 31st or 29th of the month, it all has to be reconciled for us to pay JP Morgan Chase timely, because I would not want to pay the interest on a $238,000 bill, because it's one bill.
Mr. Chair, I just
Van
want to
Dyke.
compliment Kelly and her team. I think this is the second time I've seen this presentation, and I think every other municipality should take what they've established here at MDC, and hats off to you, because I am just totally and thoroughly impressed with our guardrails and how this program has worked. So I really think that, like I said, I don't think I can speak more highly of what we do here at MDC, thanks to Kelly and her leadership on this.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
We'll do it again next month. All right, it brings us down to opportunity for general public comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any agenda? Okay, seeing none. Commissioner requests for consideration of future agenda items. Okay, seeing none.
Mr. Chairman?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had talked before about this, but I'd like to maybe have you add it on to your agenda if you can. When we go into executive session, we talked about this. We have people online, and during that time, some cameras are on, some cameras are off. I was wondering if we could have a discussion and set a policy for that. And I guess through you, I would ask if you would, because I think it's a legal problem, or it should be. And through you, I would hope that we could ask our legal eagle, Chris, to have an opinion on it.
Okay. I'll certainly take that into consideration, but our district clerk is very diligent in making sure that she zones off those who should be zoned off and make sure those that should be on are on, whether it be on the phone or on WebEx. So we're very careful, and I don't know any other avenue other than shutting everything down and have everybody call in again.
Or having the cameras on.
Having the cameras on.
Having their cameras on.
Oh, having their cameras on.
Yes, because you have people that don't have a camera on.
Okay.
Versus, and if we could have Chris make an opinion on that through you?
I can ask for that opinion.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, before I call for adjournment, I want to thank everybody for their diligence, their perseverance, their patience, and above all, their professionalism. It's nice to sit around a table and agree to disagree when we all have the same goal to make MDC the best it can be and to better serve the people we represent, and also at the same time making sure that the staff who provide those services are also, their needs are met. So again, I thank you all very much, and I declare this meeting adjourned.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.